Hi, I'm Madie.
And I'm Ruby.
We left Australia over a year ago on an adventure around the world.
And now we want to invite you along for the ride.
Welcome to His and Her Travellings. As part of our tuk-tuk tour in Jaipur, India, we were taken to Hathi Gaon, which is more commonly referred to as the Elephant Village, not far from the Amber Fort. We would like to make a point of saying that we did not request to go there, nor did we know prior to booking the tuk-tuk tour that this would be one of the stops.
We also want to make it clear that it is not a sponsored video, but you should also know that we did not pay for anything during our time with the elephants or for the members of the village's time, and we can only comment on what we saw and captured on our camera in the 2 hours that we visited Hathi Gaon.
When we arrived, they sat us down with one of the elephant owners, who explained about the relationship between mahout and elephant, as well as the elephant village itself.
Hathi Gaon was established between 2006 and 2010 in response to concerns raised by animal activist groups about the living and working conditions of the Jaipur elephants that ferry tourists up and down the Amber Forts on a daily basis. This is a tradition that has run for hundreds of years, and currently 18 elephants are legally required to work on the Amber Forts each and every day.
We were then presented with a piece of paper in which the elephant owner laid out the prices for meeting, feeding, painting and riding an elephant 15, 30 or 45 minute periods. These averaged out to around 1,000 rupees per item listed.
At this point I became overwhelmed and started crying. I wasn't sure whether the money was going to the right cause, or even worse, if I would be actively supporting and affirming the direct abuse of animals.
The owner, upon seeing Ruby visibly upset, took her over to meet one of the elephants. During this exchange, the owner's father, upon seeing her become even more upset, insisted that she also feed the elephant for free.
After I stopped crying, we then sat down with a member of the village who asked not to be named and discussed the ongoing problems that the elephant village faces.
Of the elephants here I do look after. So where we are at the moment, the place is called it by the name of Elephant Village, and all around the Jaipur we got totally 113 elephants. About that, in these days we just are having a big issue at the Jaipur, as some fake organizations are having a big issues with Jaipur elephants, just to making them fool to the white skinned people. So is it a big request to you guys, any organizations or anyone, if ask you to get the donations from you guys for the elephants of Asia? So please, we just need to request you don't donate anything, because we are elephant owners or we are caretakers. Never ask for any donations. Jaipur elephants look after like as a part of family. So don't become under blackmailing of some organizations. So that is the request, harmly request we wanted to do. And like as if you got a chance in your life, please come over here in Jaipur and let's have a look to our elephants, how they look after, how hard work the families do for the elephants. At the moment, all the elephants in Jaipur, they just are under to the forest department and on the forest department property. So some organization people are thinking they just are going up to the government, like up to the forest department as well. So like as you guys can understand, if the forest departments are looking after, so some NGOs no need to be involved in this matter. So please be careful with that, guys, who is asking you for the donations.
So speaking with the guys, it's clear that a lot more can be done by coming and experiencing what they do on a daily basis by supporting not only their families but the elephants, which are part of their families, and just boycotting pretty much all donation-based schemes where not all that money goes directly where the cause is needed most. I mean, I've definitely learned a bit today. And
afterwards we were taken to where the elephants and the mahouts actually sleep. Coming from a horse riding background, it felt very much like a stables, but on a larger scale with undercover and open spaced enclosures.
From my past travels, where I've seen African elephants roam free in a South African nature reserve, my opinions differed from that of what I was being presented with. I was grappling with the issues involving these massive creatures coexisting with the billions of people in India, and that maybe they were better off in the care of the elephant village. Yet I still felt activities that involved monetization for tourism, especially the painting and riding of the elephants, was just not right.
It cost a great deal to maintain the health of the elephants in regards to medical care and enormous food supplies, which can only be provided by tourist dollars. In addition, the mahouts and their families rely on the elephants for their individual income, so there is a standard present to ensure that the elephants are cared for and in return to sustain their livelihoods.
As Ruby has mentioned, the similarities to our domestication of horses is evident in the elephant village, yet the state it is in after only 8 years appears to reflect some neglect or mismanagement of further investment. In contrast to most other Indian settlements, it's not out of the ordinary. However, when dealing with the amount of money charged for visiting the village and the activities offered to tourists, I feel it just doesn't add up. I didn't feel comfortable during my time there, as I was unprepared for the experience and probably wouldn't have gone on my own terms. However, I was appreciative of the openness offered by the guys and the chance to hear from their side of the story. For me, it's not how these magnificent beasts should be experienced. Shushlui Himphalosi Park was a prime example of how to combine wild animals with tourism that supports conservation. However, India is different to anything I've experienced, and I can understand how they could truly believe they are helping their elephants. It's hard for both humans and animals in India to compete with the overwhelming numbers, all vying for a better life. So if visiting the elephant village or interacting with these activities, do be aware of what's happening and what you're contributing towards.
We're not saying that any particular opinion is right or wrong, only that if you want to experience these creatures whilst travelling India, please be mindful and consider perhaps how you interact with these beautiful elephants.